Hi everybody, I'm Walt Lewis and this is another Fire Engineering Training Minutes. Today we're going to talk about applying our UAV systems in the urban search and rescue atmospheres. There are so many things we can apply it to, but in this case we're going to look for our sources where we have to go do our search. We can use it in building identification to see which buildings may be signifying for help from the people that are within. We can use it in the structure specialist arena to be able to identify where the weak points on the building are that from the ground they couldn't necessarily see. And in this case here, we're going to go to the forward locations and get eyes on that spot before we have to put our personnel there. So we're going to go fly the device and take a look. In this case, the structural specialist would benefit from having this upper level view. Here they could tell where the true damage of the building is, where widowmakers may be, methods to tie back or wrap the building, or shore it from lower levels. Is the building truly safe for us to enter? Upper level considerations that they couldn't tell from lower levels. All these aspects, all these things that they could see with the UAV that we couldn't give them from a ground level view from before. In the past, one of our only options to get an upper level view like this was to utilize a helicopter that ties up the air asset that could be delivering supplies or helping move personnel from one location to another. For this, we can use a site-specific UAV system, survey the damage on our buildings, verify the location, and prioritize our structures. Having an upper-level view allows us to deploy our assets, know where our location and access points are going to be, what our other options are going to be, what other areas that may be affected that we didn't know of before. And then as we get closer into the buildings, we can get a better look to see where people may truly be trapped, the building construction methods, anything else that causes a hazard for the structure that we may not be aware of. For this case of wide area flooding, using a UAV we can help determine best access points for boats and high water vehicles, where anyone may be signaling for help, any hazards that we may not have been able to note yet, such as oil slicks or flammable liquid slicks, power line runs, or even heavy currents that we didn't see before. It can help us prioritize structures or neighborhoods. Some may have reported in that they had flooding, but some of it may only be water intrusion, whereas other structures are truly in danger because they have water at their roof line. And of course, we can help monitor the crews as the UAV system allows. As you can see, having the eyes in the air gives us another perspective to help make sure we have a safer atmosphere for our USAR workers. We can't make it 100% safe, but that extra set of eyes, it definitely gives us a better vantage point. One of the things we certainly want to make sure we have occur is be in contact with anybody else that's going to have air assets in the area. In our circumstance with Hurricane Harvey, there were several air entities, Coast Guard, Air Force, Navy, that had helicopters on free flight patterns flying the similar area that we were within. So launching our UAVs would have been risky for those craft in the air. If we needed to, we would contact the air boss and find out who was coordinating all those efforts so that we could put our device in the air. Typically, our ceiling is going to be below their normal flight pattern, but in the urban search and rescue arena, that bet is off. They're going to have to fly down low to be able to drop their personnel to make rescues, and if we put our devices in air and interfere with their operation, it's not good for either of us. So certainly it wants to be a coordinated effort. Something else that's helpful is like on the fire ground in our USAR setting, if we had the manpower available, flying that device to be able to watch our high-risk workers in a very risky situation gives us another vantage point to be able to make sure our personnel are safe. We can keep a par on all our people, even if they're off radio, just by visually watching and having real-time transmission. Now, the device I have is certainly an older generation, and there are a lot of ones out there that have other improvements. But even an older generation, less cost device can get us a lot of that information. The newer stuff has more technology available to it, and it only gets better from here. I recommend that you go out and train with whatever device that you have, speak to vendors, try the different devices out, and stay on top of the technology. It's only going to make our job easier and safer. For Fire Engineering Training Minutes, thanks for watching. I'm Walt Lewis.